Planning for the end of life is an important conversation. This may be with a loved one, and in my case, it's with my mom. She's 81. She's had an amazing life, and she's touched a lot of people in her life, and she is a very kind and caring person. And we started this conversation with her a couple of years ago, and I've learned a lot along the way, and I'd like to share some of that with you. Um, I did some research on the internet and saw some of their ideas about how to make plans and decide how the best way is for your loved one to spend the rest of the time that they have left on this earth. And one of those was AARP, Prepare to Care, assets.aarp.org, and agingcare.com, and caringinfo.org. These were all great resources, so I took my life experiences and their ideas and I combined them into 5 things to think about when you start these conversations. Conversations are probably not going to happen at one sitting. It's going to be an ongoing conversation that changes all the time, just as lives do. So the first thing to talk about is living situation. 8 out of 10 elderly people plan on living at home until they die, but only 20% actually get to do that. So living at home, there's a lot of things to consider, especially if they're living alone. There are a lot of resources out there to help them, but there's also other alternatives. Assisted living, which is usually in an apartment, in a group of apartments. And then, of course, nursing homes are also an alternative to living at home and assisted living. And living at home means that, someone's going to need to be in charge. And when your loved one gets to the point where they can't make their own decisions or take care of their own finances, then there is a power of attorney. The person would need to decide that before they're incapable of making decisions. So that can be taken care of, and at the time it can be activated. And then there's transportation. That's going to be an issue for people, especially elderly people who have always been independent. To lose that independence is very difficult, but it can be handled in a kind and caring manner. It probably will take a couple of people because it's a big job for one person. Taking people to the grocery store, to the bank, to the doctor, and also to do some fun things every once in a while, which we try to do. And your county senior service centers, your county senior services, a lot of them have vans, and they also transport groups of people to the grocery store and sometimes to medical appointments. Then there's the medical aspect of it. As people age, they tend to start having illnesses, and so their medical needs are a lot more than, of course, when they were younger. And so somebody's going to need to be in charge of that. Somebody's going to need to go to doctor's appointments to know what's going on, help with medicine, and any medical interventions that need to happen. There's also an advanced medical directive that if there were a medical emergency where extraordinary life-saving things would need to happen, that those are spelled out in that advanced medical directive, and that is directed by the person that you are caring for. And hopefully that was taken care of when they were able to make those decisions and understand exactly what would be happening. There's also the financial part of it. It's important to find out, if they're financially able to support themselves in their home long term. There are some things that can help with that, but financial stability is very important at this stage of their life, and to make sure that there is enough funds there to take care of that. Now, if you have someone that has substantial means, then they can have a trust that will provide them lifelong income. And then, of course, the final arrangements, which is deciding if they want to be buried or cremated. You can go to your local funeral home and they can help you with that. Here are the 5 things that I talked about today, which is their living situation, transportation, medical, financial, and final arrangements. Hopefully this will help you get started. And I hope you have a great day and good luck with any of your planning that you're planning on doing. Thanks. Bye.